Okay, we are live. Perfect, perfect. This live is in English on purpose because I want to bounce back into a topic. I almost spoke French. A topic so important to me, and a lot of people sometimes, we part of an OG of the internet. I've been on the internet doing videos since 2008. So I've been doing this for 15 years globally. French world, Spanish world, English world. Been traveling for, in 4 continents, doing global tours for more than 7 years. I have clients in 69 countries, I speak 3 different languages. I have my content available in multiple languages, and that's what we are doing. So when it comes to, I was watching some podcasts not too long ago, and what I realized that there's a lot of people who are complaining about the money, going down for podcaster creators and stuff like that. And I was watching one of my favorite podcasts. I don't know if you know them, but Nikki and Moose. And shout out to them. I believe it was a recent episode, less than a week ago, and they were talking about Kev on stage and different people who are complaining about revenue going down. And, I've been watching the space very closely. One of my mentor, EO Fire, John Lee Dumas, been talking about it for a long time. I believe that as a community, as black creators especially, sometimes we try to keep up so much with a culture that we going from entrepreneur to a blogger. So when it comes to blogging now, when you hear blogging in the last 4 or 5 years, is somebody who just talk about the gossip, what's hot, who slept with who. This type of content, unfortunately, there's just a few people who are very good at it. You need to have a certain personality, come back with, everything come with it. So whenever there's something, so you're gonna get views. But how many videos do you think that people are gonna watch about what's going on, for example, between Jada and Will? How many videos? Maybe 3 or 4. So it's a timing issue. Like as soon as there's something happening, how fast can you get on it and talk about it? But it's kind of like you don't really helping people, you're just gossiping and you get paid on views. The problem with that is if your entire platform, your entire business strategy is just based on views, you're not going to be able to sustain that. It's almost like, I like to tell, preachers, like a preacher depending on tithes and offering. If your ministry, you only depend on tithes and offering, you're not going to make it. You need to have other means. You need to have other business to support the system. So if you're a creator, if you're an author and speaker, the number one thing you have to do is to make sure that if you do talk about the news or something happened to the news, create it in a way of a storytelling to tell people about your business. But if your business talking about other people's business, now you're not an author no more, you're not a podcaster no more, you become now a blogger who talk about gossip. You're just another gossip show. So even as black people globally in the entire diaspora, we have to talk about stuff. We have to talk about if Jay-Z come out with a new venture, or if Oprah's doing something, if Tyler drops something new. Whoever that you watch, even in a black show, what's going on, who's going to impact our people economically. Last time I did a huge video on Francis Ngannou and Tyson Fury because it was so important for our African diaspora, the business move that he did, the ownership. So I'll talk about that. Not necessarily, do you think he won, do you think he lost? I didn't went to the gossip part. I went to the business acumen of Francis Ngannou for somebody, we used to be homeless a few years ago in France, and now, just becoming one of the biggest person in a combat sport as we speak right now. Is the most bankable fighter from boxing to MMA, all that combined. Right now is the hardest commodity. So this is so important. So now I want you to be more focused about the educating your platform. Educate people about your business. Like me, I'm always going to talk about global marketing because I'm global. So I'm talking about what I know. I'm not going to talk about what, somebody else talking about, something different. I'm not going to try to copy somebody. The only thing I'm going to do is to amplify who I am and teach business principle on that. Okay, storytelling based on what I know, what I'm doing, and my services and everything else. So let's make sure that we don't get into, let me talk about hot topic. What you want to do? You want to be another view show or something? Don't become a copy of something who's hot on TV and you make it in a podcast. If you want to be a podcaster, talk about sport, talk about sport. Talk about sport, talk about what, people are doing in sport, outside their life of sport, will impact their sport. Don't become a gossip show, okay? So when you see somebody like Kev on stage, one of the most powerful influencer in the black community, he was a comedian, Christian comedian, is very important. Don't use a lot of curse words and stuff. He got a podcast, who've been very successful for the last few years, but unfortunately, he said the revenue, are down, for no matter what's going on. And he's saying okay, I want my Patreon community to help me because, he still want to pay his staff. So he just bring it to the community. Now, some people are not really agreeing with that. I believe that, he has to tell people what's going on. But what I've been preaching since 2017 to everybody who's online, say, look, man, do not count on your subscriber. You have to know that the distance between a subscriber and a client is 5,000 miles. I have to shock you to tell you that because we're in a society where people say, oh, I got such and such subscriber, I got 1 million subscribers, I got 1 million followers. Unfortunately, most people, when you go live and do something, you're really going to have more than 10%. Not because you're not that popular, not because you got fake followers, even if 67% of celebrity bought fake followers, that's another live. But I want you to understand that. Hey, wait a minute, what I need to do? So what you need to do, if you're an artist, you're a singer, you write songs, whatever that you do, you're an author, you're a speaker, do not rely on your following online alone. The following online is a matrix, very, it's cool, but that matrix, you have to figure out a way to convert those followers into your own platform. Like today, if you're watching me today, even on replay, and you don't have your own platform, and I will break it down because a lot of people think own platform is oh, I got my Instagram, this is not for you. Oh, I got my Facebook, this is not yours. Oh, I got my TikTok, this is not, hey, I got my YouTube channel. No, those terms are, this is not yours. This is why it's free. You're renting the platform. You're renting the platform, and because it's free, they control the access of the data you're supposed to get. Is limited. You don't know their name, you don't know where they live, you cannot contact them directly. And if you do, they're gonna ban you to try to connect with a maximum of your followers. If you try to do that individually, if you try to use the different software, it's not gonna work unless you have a permission from them to have their data. So this is the basic of business. And whenever I talk to people globally, they always say, oh my God, coach, I never heard about that. It's just man, you need, that's a foundation of business. You have to know that this is what is going to take for you to go to a next level. So if you don't have a website with the ability to stream, that's what a platform is, without Facebook Live, Instagram Live, TikTok Live, YouTube, Twitter, or Zoom, you're not going to be able to make it happen. Okay? You're not going to be able to make it happen because you cannot go and build a business on somebody else's platform. So you have to convert, and you need to make a distinction between a follower and a member of your community. And they have to decide. There's different websites out there. I don't want to advertise any of them because I'm not going to get paid. But do your research. If you don't know where to start, contact us. We're going to help you to build your own platform where you can stream, where you can sell merch, where you can sell your books, your online course, have pay-per-view webinar, pay-per-view conference online, talk with a community, go live once a week, 3 times a week. People pay you monthly, daily, weekly, bi-weekly. We can help you put that in place. Until you have that, I'm sorry, you don't have an online business. And the same thing, especially for ministries as well. Like, you cannot rely only on I got my YouTube followers, I have my Facebook follower, I have my Instagram follower, I have my TikTok follower, I have my follower on Twitter. This is free platform. We are not friendly when it comes to ministry. So you cannot count on that. You need to have your own. Especially, now what's going on, you need to have your own. Because anytime you're going to say like, hey, we don't need your help. Somebody report your channel twice, you lose it. It happened to me in 2014. I created my first YouTube channel in 2010. By 2014, I got 500,000 views, a couple of thousand of subscribers. And I was doing a presentation one day in 2014 because I was helping a ministry and stuff like that. Back then, copyright was very strong. Before 2014, they shut down my channel. I lost 550 videos. Poof, 500,000 views. Poof, just like that. And most of the people I interviewed in my channel back then, today they're multi-millionaires. They're doing something. So, those interviews were so precious. But that's why I learned. I said, I need to get something. Yes, somebody say, hey, man, you should watch out for copyright and stuff like that. Yes, you're right too. But just to let you know, stop calling it your platform. Call your platform whatever.com, where there is what we call a paywall, a registration wall to get part of your community. Do that, and then we can talk. This is why it's so important for us to go to the next level and go wherever we're supposed to go. Okay? So I didn't want to be long. I'm going to do more videos like that in December. I'm going straight English and my name, Darcy Ogandaga, everything. And I believe that is a very good, short, precise episode I'm going to put on my podcast link, my YouTube podcast. I hope that you know that now. YouTube got their own podcast platform so people can listen to it again, and feel free to communicate with me in the comment. Let me know what you think about what I just said. If you want to add something, maybe you don't agree 100%, you want to bring some argument about what I'm saying, maybe you say like, no, I should be, having, count on the money from the reels and all this kind of stuff. What do you think about what I just said to you? My name is Darcy Ogandaga. I'm your host, and I hope that you're going to enjoy it. Share it with your friends everywhere. I hope I can put that version even on Instagram so people can listen to it and we can go to the next level together. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.